Survive the Island is an update from Survive Escape from Atlantis, which is also an update from Escape from Atlantis. Anyway, all you need to know is a 1980s game that has been brought to the modern era through Survive the Island. Now, in this game, you are a group of adventurers who are just trying to survive on this island, which is being overrun by water. And the way you've got to escape is swimming to other islands, or maybe you're going to get on a raft, or whatever. But you're trying to avoid sharks, kaiju, sea serpents. It's just zany, it's just crazy. Let's go check out Survive the Island. In Survive the Island, you're trying to rescue as many of your adventurers as possible while there's rising sea waters taking over the island. Now, you're trying to rescue them by getting them to these four corner safety islands. Now, you're trying to avoid in the process the deadly sea serpents, the kaiju, and of course the sharks. So we've got our game set up, ready to go. We've got 5 sea serpents at the start of the game, and we're ready to start our first turn. Now, on your turn, you get 3 movement points. Now, you can do your movement from moving across the island. You might want to go for a swim. You can swim your way to safety, or alternatively, you can jump on the raft. Now, once you've done your 3 movement points, you're now going to flip over 1 hex tile. The way this is done is you always do your beach tiles first, followed by your jungle tiles, and then lastly, your mountain tiles. So I can choose any beach tile to flip over. So let's just say I'm going to flip over this one, and that now puts that adventurer into the water, and then we see what we have there. So that's telling me now I've got to actually put a shark in that spot. So that's not good because sharks eat, they eat adventurers. So this is the way the game works. Now, these sea serpents, they can move 1 space, but they can attack rafts and also adventurers in the water. The sharks can move 1 to 2 spots and they can eat adventurers in the water. And the kaiju, their job is to move people away. Maybe I want to move them from there and I can move them into the water. That's what the kaiju does. So that's all of the actions there. But the last thing we need to do, once we've flipped over our hex tile there, we now need to roll the monster die. This is going to tell us which of our monsters is going to be moving. So we'll roll the die there. And this one says kaiju. We don't have any kaiju on the board, so nothing happens. That's pretty much your turn. Movement, flip over a hex tile, roll the monster die, move the monsters. Simple as that. Save as many adventurers as you can by the end of the game. Now, the end of the game is when all of the adventurers are saved or 3 volcano hex tiles have been flipped over. Now, I am often just getting absolutely slapped in the face with fresh modern mechanics. I mean, look at all these board games out there, all trying to outdo each other, give me new modern twists on old mechanics. They're just flirting with me every single time I open a box. Survive the Island says no to that. I do not want to give you sexy new fresh mechanics. I'm going to give you the old school, pure, classic mechanics. And that's what this game is. It's a 40-year-old game, and those mechanics have not changed over the years. And maybe in a way, that's actually a good thing because these games still exist. They've been brilliant for so long now, and it's still brilliant to this day. Problem is, this game just isn't for me because I've been absorbed with all that newness, freshness. All those new games out there, I've been absorbed by that. And now when I play something that's a bit more old school, I feel a little bit flat when I play it. But here's the thing, I don't think I am that perfect audience for this game, but you will know if you are that perfect audience. It is pure mechanics. And in fact, we're going to move a few characters around, move our adventurers around. We're going to flip some hexes there, and we're just going to try and avoid the sea serpents, the sharks, and the kaijus just through a dice roll there. It's just very simple stuff. Now, normally I would chat about the pros and cons of this game, but because this is a little bit different, I really want to chat about the vibes. Now, I wanted to do something just a little bit different with this review. I think I just want to talk about my experiences playing the game. Instead of me telling you if this game's for you or not, maybe just listen to what I have to say and what my experiences were, and maybe you'll just come to your own conclusion if this game's for you or not. So let's start off with my very first game. And I played with my partner. It was a Friday night. We're having a few drinks and we were ready for a bit of Survive the Island. Now we break out the rule book and cool, not too many pages there. Very simple to set up, very simple to get started. Couple little ambiguities here and there, but for the most part, pretty simple stuff. Now, on these meeples here, you're gonna have numbers ranging from 1 to 5, and the strategic side of you saying, well, look, go get those 5s out, put them on the edge, put them close to a raft and try and rescue them first. Now, that's how you're supposed to play this game, but we just randomly chucked them in there. We didn't care. First game is always a learning game. Now, always play like that. First game, always a learning game. So scores don't matter. So anyway, I'm playing me and my partner, and Cool, the game's going fine. Now, we did play one rule incorrectly where as soon as one person had saved all of their adventurers, then we stopped the game. But we found out in the second and third games that you need to save all of the adventurers, or you wait for the third volcano hex to be flipped over. So that's sort of how that end of the game works. Anyway, we stopped it short, but it didn't really matter. It was still a lot of fun. So, cool, we've done that. We've got to the end of it, and all of a sudden we said, that's fine. It was a good game, but we're fine. We have no interest in playing it again. So that was me and my partner. So we play a lot of games together, a lot of two-player games, a lot of games where they're very competitive against each other. This one was just fine. Let's fast forward now to my second game, and I'm now playing with my 9-year-old daughter, and now it's a complete different vibes. All of a sudden, every time the shark's eating one of your adventurers, you're going nom 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 nom, and it's fun. Whereas when I was doing it with my partner, I felt kind of bad eating her adventurers, and every time I'd shove one towards a sea serpent or something like that, I'd feel terrible. But when I did it with my kid, we were having great fun. So very different vibes playing with my kid there. So 9-year-old kid, it worked out well. She understood the rules. Again, a two-player game, so played exactly the same as before. And yeah, it was a lot more fun. So something to note there, that maybe playing with kids and letting your inhibitions go and just having fun with it is probably the best way to play this game. Now let's fast forward to my third game. We're now playing with 4 people, 3 kids and myself. It felt very similar to the second game where we're having a bit of fun. Maybe not as fun because, no, it was just, again, maybe just a little bit late in the afternoon. Kids were getting a bit tired. But again, the game was fine. I don't know if the kids will ask for it again. I know they didn't hate it. And I know they didn't totally love it. It was sort of that in-between moment. And again, I spoil all of my kids with so many different games, and I give them so many different games. I think it's more the fact we have so many different options for them. I don't know why I would come back to this. So just something to know. Now, if your family only has, 5, 6, 10 board games in your collection, then this is going to be perfect for your collection because it's going to give you that variety, something different, something that is not brain burning that you can just have fun with. But if you've got a collection of 400 plus like I do, well, it just doesn't really rise to the top. And the main reason is because let's talk about probably my one and biggest con. I just wish they chuck something extra, a fresh mechanic in there, even like a little expansion that you could choose to play with or not choose to play with. Now, this game is identical to pretty much how it was 40 years ago. I just wish there was just something new, and that's my biggest con there. But the biggest pro is that it is a solid design. The fact it's been around for so long, there's nothing at all broken in this game. It is fluid, it is solid, and it is easy to pick up and play. Now, they're my experience now. I only played this game 3 times, and I know for a lot of people, you're going to get your knickers in an absolute knot. And no, that's all I felt like playing, 3 games. So it's enough for me to give you my impressions, how I felt about those games, my experiences. So there we go. This is Survive the Island. Now, it is going to be a solid game for people who don't have many board games in their collection, but be kind of mindful there that there's nothing too groundbreaking when you crack open the plastic on this game. So Survive the Island, classic board game. If it's something for you, then go check it out. It's hitting retail now, and again, still enjoyed it, still recommend this game for you. So there we go, Survive the Island. That's all I have. Till next time, I'm Hogs. This is the Bangers Project. Laters.